police banned assault weapons and ghost guns to take guns out of the hands of criminals.
They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, goddammit. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather fly together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
Wow, the weirdest thing. I'm not going to touch anything because I was having that audio problem, imagine. Well, I just put my plug in a little bit on the end, just a tip, and the fucking speaker started working. I don't know how, why. It's not even connected to each other, but it's working, so we're not going to mess with it.
That's cool.
What happened to Larry?
Oh, I guess he'll be back.
Yeah, just come and goes as you please for a show. Here he comes, in and out.
So remember last night when I was talking about my sister saying, "Oh, you need to get on a plane," and I said they're falling out of the sky.
Oh my gosh, no way. There was no plane crashes, was there?
Yes, there was.
Oh my God.
242 people died in India last night.
Do you ever notice that the plane crashes are always in India?
Look, I don't care.
You can't take a bus to India.
5 minutes being in the air, it crashed in a residential housing development, killed 242 people were on that plane.
Holy smokes, that's a damn shame. Well, that's, prayers and everything go out to that family. But I can't believe that you actually called that too. I mean, I guess listen to what Tiff says about the flying stuff. I guess she knows what she's talking about when it comes up to that. Man, that's a damn shame, though. I feel bad for those families,
And when I saw that shit this morning, I said, oh my God, I just said to Darren last night on the live, I am not getting on a plane.
Yeah. I mean, if we got $1 million or something, though, I'd take the risk.
Not me.
No.
I want to be around to spend that $1 million.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you wake up, you might be reincarnated into a millionaire's life, so you never know.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, it's all in how you put it out there to the universe, Tiff. So,
yeah.
Yep. So it's morning time, which we're not.
It
usually,
is.
We're not. I mean, we're always up in the morning, but we're not usually doing this. You've had about 47 cups of coffee at this point normally.
Yep.
And microphone use.
And I'm drinking my last one for the day. It's even got my name on the mug.
Yeah, the size of the head mug. Look at that thing. It does say your name on it. Look at that. Probably 4 times the weight of the size of that thing.
Got one that holds a half a pot of coffee too.
I was going to say a half gallon, right? Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, I'm glad that the algorithm pulled you in here. Hang in here with us, Shargren. We could talk about all kinds of stuff, but typically it's CPS. Tiffany was just talking about her premonition, her future prediction yesterday. That came true.
I did not have a premonition. All I said was, I am not getting on an airplane. They're falling out of the sky. And I wake up this morning and one dropped out of the sky in India. I didn't even have a premonition. What do you call that then?
If that's not a premonition, then what is that?
Bad luck.
For you for calling it, or for them for being on that plane?
Both. Now I feel responsible for all those people.
Yeah, it is your fault. You put it out there to everybody who's getting ready for bed after the show last night. You put out their plane crashes, and now look, those poor souls. Man.
So Sarika, when the live is over, you can call me. I know Sarika.
Yeah.
She used to live here. And then she moved.
Where you live?
Where I live.
Okay.
And she hit me up last night. Of course, it was my bedtime. Mm-hmm. So I hit her back and told her to call me today after the live. But yeah, she knows what we do.
I would just, by the name like that, yeah. Hell yeah. She should be in on the show with us.
Well, she should be into law. Look at her last name.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, how do you go away with that? I'd like to know what Chargren is all about. Like, hey, Debbie, I would like to know what Chargren would like to talk about. I've never seen her in here or him, and I'd like to know a little bit about them. Do they need some CPS, some advice, or do they need any of that? I mean, we got to welcome them in. Give them some.
I don't know, Sarika. You can type in the chat.
Yeah, don't let Tiff stay off.
Well, no, it's not my day off. Well, yeah, I guess tomorrow is my day off. But anyway, so
Tiff has one of these things behind me. It says, mine says breaking news. Hers says breaking next. So
I just don't put up with the bullshit. I don't care who you are.
That's right. No bullshit here. Oh, Sarika. Oh, wow. That's like Sharia law, but Sarika law.
Yeah, Sarika.
Can we get her to call in? She's got a powerful story, so. Would she want to do it now?
I don't know. I know she hears us talking about her.
Well, yeah, we're saying her name quite often. She'll be, next thing you know, she'll be in the algorithm and she won't even understand why.
Right. So I was looking for my book on family court, the updated version. Of course, I have so many books, you know, you've seen them. And I can't find it, but I wanted to show everybody that until your rights are terminated, and it's for lawyers too, by the way, it says your client is entitled to go to doctor visits, school stuff, and to be informed. Everything that your child is doing in care, even if this quote unquote state has fraudulent custody of them, you're entitled to do all that stuff with your child.
Yeah,
so, but I couldn't find my book.
Is it true? Did you find in there in the book too that only a judge, right? Only a judge can stop visitations, correct?
Only a judge makes decisions. It can take recommendations from the agency, but we all know that they're biased and they always go with what CPS says.
Yeah.
There actually is a Virginia Supreme Court case here. I have to get the case. But the Supreme Court of Virginia has already told the judges that they make the decisions, not the agencies. But of course, CPS believes they're above the law and that they're untouchable just with these judges, but they're not. That's why I want to investigate the Tucker Act a little bit more. That's fine, Sarika. That's why I want to investigate the Tucker law a little bit more, because it talks about monetary damages done by the government. And it says it takes select cases. And I want to know if one of those has to do with the CPS people. Yeah, but they're supposed to let you know when these children have doctor's appointments. They're supposed to do a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. I mean, nice little.
People just need to pull up their policy, and we have all 50 states. Gunner gave them to all of us, and start using their policies against them, man, because they don't even know half their policies.
Right, and we don't either, so that's perfect for the advantage for all of us to be with each other, you know.
Right, we need to know what their policies are.
And you know, you can't. I don't think you can eat or drink or any of that stuff if you're going to do any of their blood tests or any of that stuff. I don't think that you can. I think you need to not eat or drink. It says in those policies. Only I said this because someone asked me about that the other day, and if they were watching, I did look that up, and it says typically if you're supposed to take a screen, which doesn't make any sense either because they're supposed to give those two surprised. But to get a more accurate one, it says that you're not supposed to eat or drink a certain amount of hours before the test. So how the hell does that even work with these random drug tests? If that's their policies when you typically would go do it. So that doesn't even make sense anyway. So now they're setting you up for failure. I don't know how it sets it off, but I mean, I do know that these tests, they're not tests, they're screens. That's coming from Corey Okorocha, the #1 toxicologist in the country, and a friend of ours. But there's a big difference between them giving you a drug screen and a drug test. #1, those drug screens that they give you when you go down to the local mart and all that stuff, and they give you you go to the urgent care and all that stuff, those are screens, not tests. Those are not admissible in court. But yet they bring them all the time. They bring them all the time and act if those things are a legit playing card in their game, but it's not. It's not at all. So people need to start, like looking that stuff up. And I mean, we can only take you so far. The rest, like you walk through that, you have the threshold that you guys got to pass. That's on you. So you guys, just think about it, like absorb. Don't be busy trying to write things down right now, even if you are or you're not, or just don't, because you can go back and watch this. Just let this stuff sink into your head right now so you absorb it and learn it. Because this stuff is important, and every second is an hour in the CPS world of taking your kids. Like, time is just getting torn away from you, and you don't, like Tiffany always says, the first one to the courthouse wins. The same in the bulk of many ways that's the same. With the CPS stuff, like we gotta. But what we gotta do is figure out what when you go to the courthouse to file first. That's what needs to be figured out.
Well, here's the thing. When I have people call me, and normally it's the people that are going to the hospital to have babies.
Okay.
I tell them to, the minute the child is born, C-sections are so much easier because you know everything.
Yep.
Do a temporary guardianship or custody to whomever. Make sure it's notarized with the baby's name and the baby's birthday and the person you want to transfer custody to. Because those are private contracts. Nobody can stop you from giving your child to somebody else. Okay? No child, no case. The other thing is,
No child.
I tell people, always have a power of attorney written up. Like when my youngest daughter was under the age of 18, I said, look, I need a power of attorney drawn up, power of attorney / custody. So I said, if anything happened to me, my death, incarceration, anything, that my youngest daughter, my custody transfers to her siblings because they were all over 18. And I had it notarized. Just have a backup plan. Now, sometimes you can't have a backup plan. So what I tell people, like, for instance, I got a call on a Friday night. Girl was crying. And I asked her, what is the relationship between you and the father? She was like, not good. And I said, no, honey, it's awesome. You have them here Monday morning and you have them file an emergency motion to intervene / custody. Both kids were out of care and with their fathers by Wednesday.
That's awesome. Good for them. Good for them.
Yeah. So first one to the courthouse wins.
So let's for real quick here, let me just so I can write this. Say that again, what you had or what they had gone in and filed?
They filed an emergency motion to intervene / custody.
Okay.
So it's really an emergency custody hearing.
Okay.
Same thing with grandma. She came here. I told her to get her behind on a plane and she waited. So she got here Saturday, came to my house Saturday. I told her what to do. She went to the courthouse that Monday. The child had to be released to her that Monday evening. And a week later, she got sole full custody of the grandbaby. So that's what you got to do. And while she was sitting in the CPS office, they got served.
Awkward.
I remember when that bullshit episode happened on my property. And I told the sergeant, I will go file a motion tomorrow morning to have my grandson put back with his mother because I know how to do it. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Yeah, okay.
Let's see it happen. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Okay. And then I had another cop, right? My daughter hit me when she was 15, so I put her ass out. Gave her to her dad. Anyway, He was like, "Oh, you're not going to get into court that fast, right?" I said, "Oh, I guess you don't know who I am." The next day, I called my attorney. He drew up the custody papers, and within 24 hours, she was with her dad. Yeah, no,
That's
I
awesome.
do know what I'm doing.
Yep. So we'll call that the wise way to the courtroom, the wise way to victory. Wise way to victory.
And here in Virginia,
Rocky
if
Docky.
they won't place a child in kinship care, let me look it up for people in Virginia. They have to write a letter to the Board of Social Services and have a damn good reason why those children are not placed in kinship care. And it can't be because they got bump beds or their criminal record goes past 10 years or they had a CPS case. They can't use any of that stuff here in Virginia. Well, they're not supposed to. And I'll look it up real quick because it's in I got it. I just saw it yesterday.
Wise way to victory. Right, not that there. I'm afraid to move these cords. You don't want to mess up anything here. Hey, good morning to everybody. Come on. Thank you all for coming in. Join us this morning instead of our typical 7:30-ish is when we like to typically, the show comes on at 7:30. Like just little things like that.
Oh, I must have it in the phone that I'm on.
Wise way to victory. Motion to
intervene,
yeah.
Or an emergency custody hearing. It's not in here, but I'll put it up on my Facebook page so everybody can see it for the one for Virginia.
Now you can get that if you're in the courtroom. They should have a notary in the courthouse, right?
Yes.
So
but if you have a bank account, any bank that you have an account with will do it for free.
You got to have how many? Is there a number for a specific reason of signatures? Or because I know, like in Maine, if you don't have a notary available, if you only have 3 people that are not related to you in that courthouse that will sign your paperwork, it will stand as a legal document.
Well, here's the thing. One of my custody papers is notarized. The other one is not. And they're still binding because her and I both signed it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But it's a private contract, right?
Yeah.
And CPS believes, see, what they do is they sue you as a third party.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're the government. So we want to be real about it. A third party government agency has no rights. Only a living being that is breathing and eating. That has more rights. That has all the rights. I remember when they sent me a letter and said, oh, the charges or the allegations against you were unfounded. We're unsuing you. I said, bitch, you weren't suing me anyway. I didn't have custody of that child.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they literally sue you for custody as a third party.
Mm-hmm.
So like I tell people, go to uscourts.gov, get the criminal complaint form,
Mm-hmm.
and start asking people whose name goes here. Yours, the judges, whose name goes here? Whose name do I put on here? They might laugh, but it's not a laughing matter.
Right.
Because they are not untouchable. They are touchable.
Mm-hmm. Facts. And like the other day too, I don't remember who it was that was saying that, but they were saying, what do you do if like everybody at her work was saying that anytime she's bringing up her kids, being involved with the CPS and all, and people are like, oh, that's just drama that you're starting. Well, you know what your response to them is? And I'll tell you right now, you look them dead in the face and be like, well, why don't I call CPS on you? And then we'll see how much drama I've really created from this. Or did we, you know what I mean? I like to do that too. I've done it once, but they were closing, so I didn't make it.
Debbie, if the child is already in care, you can no longer do a power of attorney. It has to be before they go into care. And don't let these people tell you that they can take your children without a court order, because they cannot.
Right.
That is a violation under the Fourth Amendment as an illegal seizure. And that's what I tried to tell that chick. And ignorance of the law is no excuse. That her excuse was, well, I can assume custody. Okay, so if you look up assume here in Virginia, that just means they have the power to transport the child from point A to point B. That's it.
Wow. So that's in Virginia, but what is it? Let's see. Let's see.
Yeah, look up the legal meaning of assume dealing with CPS. In fact, I had a civil rights attorney here in Clark County. When I said this bitch assumed custody, he said, you can't assume anything on another human being.
Assume. Okay, so let's see. Survey says supposed to be the case without proof. Take or begin to have power of or responsibility.
They don't have the authority. Go to her house and try and take her kids if she's got any, which they normally don't.
Yes, thank you.
Go tell that bitch you're assuming custody of her kids and watch how fast that shit turns.
Absolutely. Love it.
Alleged kidnapping is what you're going to be charged with.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus almighty.
That's what you're going to be charged with if you try and go take her kids.
Yep. Yeah. To take over as one's own. There's another one. Take is granted or true. To pretend to have or be.
We're normally not on. We'll probably go on once a month on the second Thursday of every month in the morning, because I have meetings those evenings. That's the only reason we're on early, Debbie. Yes, when your daughter's child comes back, she can give you temporary guardianship of him. For her, no child, no case.
Do you recommend doing it like that without getting the signatures, or do you recommend trying and going at all costs trying to get those things correctly signed?
Oh, you got to have them signed. If you don't get it notarized, it's not a big deal, because either way, it is a legal binding contract. And as long as both signatures or whoever's signatures that are doing this is on there, it's still a legal binding contract. It just makes it more enforceable when it's notarized. Yeah, no child, no case. Child Protective Services. No child, no protection services.
Yes. Woo! Jimmy, I love too much coffee this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have realized that they were down there over the hill here and playing.
You're so funny, there. Maybe you should have had a couple cups.
Okay. Seems your best play. Yeah.
At the end of the day, the Supreme Court of the United States said no child can be removed from their parent without a warrant. It's a seizure under the Fourth Amendment. It's an illegal seizure. So remember that. When they take your kids, just carry your happy ass down to the federal courthouse and file a criminal complaint against the CPS workers, everybody. Everybody. This is how we're going to get rid of them. Ain't that right, Darren?
Yep, that's it. This is how we're doing it. This is how we're doing it. Yes, ma'am. We're on fire this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where Larry went, but he sure is missing a hell of a time.
Yeah, he is. He probably thought we weren't going to start.
Yeah, well, that's little, trust in the fat man. He will come through every time. Might be coming through with just one wing and one tire down, but we're coming in. We're landing. We're getting you where you need to be. Don't forget, getting where we need to be. 2 more days till Mr. President pay attention to us because we're yelling out for you and we need some help. Whatever help you can give. I mean, what you obviously did, what we thought or hope that you're going to do is more than enough. But let's do some more, Mr. President. And we all got ideas for you. And we'll be announcing that stuff. Saturday. Our new list of Mr. President, can you please do things will be up. And I think let's flood Washington, D.C. and flood everywhere for that. But let's get these people, let's tell Mr. Trump what's really going on in the world. Because until we can get a whole bunch of us together, we're going to look like little, just mouthy little rogue organizations that they just push off like a bunch of flies. So if you're feeling confident and you think that you're okay to speak to the most powerful person in the world and give him a recommendation, you can get on in on Saturday night at 7 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Sorry, my bad. We moved it ahead because it's summertime now.
Yeah. And I want to address this too. I've had a couple people say that they told their judges, and I'm proud of them for standing up, that Pam Bondi put out a letter stating that she would no longer protect any administrative law judges for violating people's constitutional rights. And their judges responded with, that does not apply to us. Those are for federal judges. Well, right. I got news for you. It applies to every judge, federal and state. So don't let that discourage you. Keep going.
Yep. Keep on.
Just warn them. I mean, that's their warning. This is not baseball. We're not doing 3 strikes, you're out anymore. We're doing 1 strike, you're done. I'm Margaret from Utah.
Margaret. I love Margaret. Oh, man. So good to see you, Margaret. And
I also want to remind people that we're not under laws, right? We're only under one law in the states, right? Which is the state constitution. And then we're under the superior law of the land. So remember, when they say, according to the law, like I did with one judge, I said, wait a minute. Are we talking about a law, a statute, a code, a rule, regulation, a policy? What are we talking about?
Right.
He's going to roll his eyes, which is fine. Roll your eyes because you know exactly what I'm asking you. The law says. No, the law does not say, because there's only one law in the state. And it's the state constitution. Everybody needs to know what their state constitution says too.
Yeah. Good one, Tiff.
Yeah.
But you know what people don't realize, and this is just something that I picked up in my learnings along the way here, is that if they're beating you down about trying to use the federal constitution in the courts, and I know everyone's, listen, if they try to beat you down, and they're doing it as a task to wear you out, to get you tired, or whatever, And, yeah, whatever. Whatever it. Shit. So I got sidetracked from this email thing, and now I forgot what I was saying.
The state
Anyway,
constitution, Darren.
yes, the state constitution. Um, the federal constitution will trump it every time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. So make sure that you know if you have side by side just for that moment. That's not saying go back and don't ever use the Constitution. That's just saying that for that moment to hold your argument in place, you can do it. You can do it. Set them up.
But remember, when you're first approached by CPS, the very first contact, just like I did with my daughter, you're invoking all your rights, but you need to know what your rights are. Right. So your First Amendment right to family connection, your Fourth Amendment right to privacy, your Fifth Amendment right to shut the fuck up, and that's what I mean, and your 14th Amendment right to due process, and that's part of the Fifth Amendment. Your Sixth Amendment is you have the right to face your accuser. And now, yeah, you want a jury trial because your child is worth more than $20.
Yep.
So you have to know them. Not only do you want the state constitution, the federal constitution, Virginia, it's called the Declaration of Rights. You want the Declaration of Rights and the Bill of Rights, federal and state.
Yep, they are obligated because they give their oaths to the state, so they can't screw around and be like, oh, they have to, because that's like one of their walk in that line and eat that robe, they got to go by some rules somewhere. And apparently it's as of right now, it was our man, Larry, right? Or no, we still got time for him to come in and show up.
If he's here? Is he here?
No,
bring him in.
I thought we had a beat, but we did not. Sorry. I didn't mean to get y'all excited about it. Writing all this information down. Like here, I'm telling everybody not to do it. I'm doing it and stuff.
Yeah, but we're writing a book, though.
This is true. So it leads for good points down the road for certain things. Oh man, what's coming? We go up there.
And I want people to even download and read the Declaration of Independence, because these are words that I live by, right? This is why I'm not afraid to go in there and confront these judges. All men are created equal, and women, so don't nobody get their panties in a bunch.
Right, because you said that, that means everybody, right? That was their intention. When they said all men back in those days, that meant everybody, not just men. So like you said, don't get all narcissistic about it.
And one of the reasons, because I'll be watching the history shit, one of the reasons that Abraham Lincoln abolished slavery is because of the Declaration of Independence. He said the forefathers wrote, all men are created equal. Why are we still enslaving people if we're all created equal? That's why he signed the Emancipation, the Emancipation Declaration or whatever. But I got that too. Emancipation, a proclamation.
Yes, isn't that what Abraham Lincoln wrote that, right?
And he signed it.
Yeah, I think that's what he wrote for four score 7 years ago, right?
To end slavery, right? We are no longer slaves to anyone.
And he put us on the back of a couple stagecoaches, and off they went.
Yeah. So what CPS is doing is, one, they're enslaving you by taking your children and holding them ransom, by kidnapping them, and then blackmailing you to say, well, if you don't do this, you're not going to get your kid back. If you don't leave him, you're not going to get your kid back. If you don't do this, I told them people to kiss my ass. I wasn't doing shit for nobody but one man who controlled my future at the time, and that was my parole officer. And that was it.
It's awesome. That's awesome. And once you start using these and exercising this stuff and practicing, and like you're going into the courtroom and you're invoking your rights per se. The first time you do it, you're like doing that. But once you do it a couple of times, God willing that you go to court like that. But if you do and you need to do it, it's okay. Like get the heebie-jeebies out of you. Don't go in there and ask for the, president of, don't be nervous about it. Like it'll work its way out of you. When you're doing this stuff. So when you're in that courtroom, it's tough. Everybody's looking at you. They're waiting for you to, say something. And, of course, half the people in there know you. So they're like, oh, man, what's he going to say? And you just say what you got to say and be done with it, move along.
And I also tell people, don't be afraid, right? Act like nobody's in the courtroom but you and the judge. Say exactly, look them in the eye, just like I did. I mean, I smile at them, but I know I'm reckless and I can be real disrespectful. So every time I go, I'm not nervous. I'm just prepared because I already know at one point they're going to put my ass in jail, but that's okay. Because at least I stood up for what I believed in.
That's right. And you can't say nothing. You can't take that away from nobody. Nothing can replace the fact that you made this feel good. No matter if you lost or whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as you made this, as long as this feels good.
I mean, we should get to the point where judges like me, when they see my name come across their desk, they will pass that shit off and be like, oh, you can deal with this bitch. Hi, Danielle.
Danielle, how are you? Please call after the show. Please, so we can talk. I got the worries and the heebie-jeebies and all kinds of good stuff because this took place right after our show on Monday. Danielle isn't.
Everybody should check out. Isn't hers Unmasking Foster Care?
Yep, she's on. Let's see, it's right here on my schedule. It's buried. Let's see, she's on. I believe it's whenever she wants to be. Danielle's one of the original troopers here, so she gets to. So she is on, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And she's on pretty much whatever time she wants to be. She just goes, like some of her shows, I don't know for sure, but, she runs them a little bit earlier if there's nobody on, or they go a little bit later. So you don't always just get like an hour with Danielle. You get whatever she feels like preaching, and boy, can she do some preaching. But like I said, she's been down. She got not feeling well, I guess. So that's good. She's obviously doing better. So.
Well, the neurovirus is going around, God, and I hope nobody gets that shit because you feel like you're dying.
Yeah, that's what she said. She feels like, I don't know what Daddy dying is, but I don't know. So that's cool. I don't see Larry. No Larry yet. Well, we got 13 minutes for Larry to come popping in. Oh, is that boy?
Sorry about that.
Yep, that's a little first person disciplinary action going on right there. Looks like we're looking at it from our point of view, like with us looking at you. What have you heard about everybody in the movement? What's anybody doing? Have you heard any news on that?
Right now, I think I'm the only one really doing anything. My rally, well, you'll be on there too, so it's our rally. It's next Sunday. And then after this rally,
So we're getting busy.
Yeah, and we want to keep the momentum going. So after this one, we're going to start doing seminars.
Yes, we are. I can't wait for it. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to start next month. And we're going to try and rent the library here once a month. It's got a big 300 people auditorium.
Oh, Jesus.
It's got everything that we need, including air conditioning and heat.
We don't need the heat part.
Well, not until the winter time, but we're going to do these once a month. And the next ones are going to be seminars, and we are going to go live. but we want people to come out too and tell their stories, because people's stories matter, right? Because when you're suing these people or you're filing criminal complaints, these courts don't want to hear the whole case. They want to know specifically what these people did, how they violated your rights, all that. They don't want to care. They don't care about your whole case, but we want people to come and tell your stories, because without your stories, nobody hears.
Right. And what good is it if how can people form that opinion on you if you're not giving them any extra? You know what I mean? Like if you're just informing them on how the law was misinterpreted by you and you broke it, there's got to be some added touch that you're able to throw in there. And I've been 3 times now. 3rd time was not the charm, so I'm done with that stuff. Yeah, you know, like it's just
we need is to be humanized by these people, right? Because all we are to them is dollar signs. And that's why I think that more people, like there's 3 plus me, because I'm going to share a little bit about my story. People that know me know what my story is. But I'm going to share it again along with 3 other people, and then we're just going to take it from there, just like me and Darren wing it every time we get on. We don't ever know exactly what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we do wing it. We do a good job winging it too.
Yes, we do. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
That's right. We tried to do that thing that one time that you know, where we put the tree together and all that. Yeah, it was like this. We were like, and today we were looking at the video for CPS, and it was very good. Ha ha ha, Tiff. You know, like that. It just didn't. I mean, not that it's any better the way we do it now, but at least I like to think some people get a little bit of humor out of it. Where the hell is Larry?
He might have went to sleep. He does work.
Maybe you need to go take a nap.
Yeah.
Well, why would he be driving by me in the highway at 120 if he was going to?
So a couple of things to remember this week. Saturday, we're doing I think we should do a happy birthday, Trump. This is what we need from you.
Yep. Our gifts, your gifts to us are.
Yeah. And then of course Sunday is Father's Day. So I do want to say this, even though, because we're doing the live thing for Trump. So I do want, just like I did on Mother's Day, I don't want anybody to unlive themselves. I don't, if you're getting depressed, call the number. Isn't it 988, Darren?
Yeah. No.
What is it?
Yeah. Hold on a minute. Let me look.
Call the hotline.
I happen to have that in my back of my head right this second, Mary. My bad. Mary's like, get it together, Darren.
Oh, Lord. Because the fight is not over. Actually, the fight now has really just begun with this administration in. And remember, soldiers fight and fight and fight. And that's another thing I want to say. We are celebrating supposedly the 250 years of the Army. Do you think that these people went and gave their lives for us not to use our rights and our freedoms? That's what they died for. That's what the military was for, to defend the Constitution at all costs and to keep the freedoms for us, the people.
Yeah.
And I just want everybody to get through this weekend and be back here on Monday. What, Darren?
988 it is.
988. Call the hotline.
Yeah, if you're feeling down and out and all that, call the 988. You call whoever you got to call.
Yeah. But if you don't have anybody to call the number.
You see the number too. Is there a number on the ticker that's going by right there? There isn't, right? It's just send us an email too. If you know what, if it's better than nothing, if it could take your time off your head of thinking about like what she was just saying, send us an email and one of us will respond to it because we're all checking emails all the time. So Do that.
Also, on Father's Day, there's Juneteenth celebrations all across the United States on Sunday.
Oh.
Go.
Good Lord, yes.
All across the United States.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, good news. You. All right, 988. Get that. That's on the Sunday too. The Juneteenth celebrations.
It's on Father's Day.
Geez, is that a busy Sunday?
It is a busy Sunday. Like the one here in Winchester, it's from noon to 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Got that one.
So everybody check your schedule. Just type in Juneteenth for your area, and it should tell you what time it is, where it is. But they are on, all of them are on Sunday.
Now, are they playing those by, does it go by regions, or it just doesn't really matter what the thing is? It just, everybody could be different. You know, like there's just different reasonings for different things.
Right. I mean, some of them can be Saturday too, but I know that they are this weekend because June 19th is this week.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense. So a week from today. It's June 19th.
Yeah, but the celebrations are happening this weekend. They always fall on Father's Day weekend for some reason. And Sarika, I'm almost done. We're getting ready to go off in a few minutes, and then you can go ahead and call me.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, we did some good stuff in here today, guys. Thank you all for coming in on this morning. A lot of people, some new faces. Hopefully they'll come back and visit us.
And like, share, and subscribe, because they're shadow banning us so that our views and our videos aren't going out as fast as they should. So if you all can help with that, we'd appreciate that, because they are shadow banning us. They don't like what we're talking about.
No, they do not. But the hell with them. We're going to continue to speak on it.
Yep. All right, Darren.
You ready to rock and roll out of here? Larry's
I'm ready to rock and roll. I'll see you Saturday.
This is Tiff's weekend off. We got don't forget CPS Victims Hunting Justice tonight and tomorrow night. And then we got to do something about Saturdays. But this week we got that void filled with the president, so we're not too concerned about that. And Sunday nights going for CPS, and we're trying to see what's going on with Obsidian. He's not been doing so well feeling wise. I guess he's not feeling well, so a little under the weather. So we're trying to nurse him back up so he can get his show back on too. So a lot of good things are happening. A lot of good things are coming. And stay tuned, because it's going to be good. Right, Tiff?
Yep.
All right. Have a good weekend, everybody.
In 1776, brave men put up a fight, mowing down redcoats. They wanted freedom. They had to fight, and now we take the sacrifice in vain. They loaded their muskets, fired them one by one.
No.
That's why we have the freedom to own a gun, but we are blowing it. These freedoms were created by those before us. They were to be something that stays. But now things are so corrupted, they are taking our rights away. Hey, Uncle Sam, where did you go? I called Washington today, but nobody's home. We all want to stand for our freedom, but nobody wants to do it today. Can't you see time is a waste, and the Constitution we love is fading? Make no tread on the reality, or the USA will be the next casualty. We are here for freedom, those we will protect. Unite for the values we cherish, or watch everything perish. Our men have fought for our freedoms, many women have too. Their blood spilled upon the ground, with the news many frown. They paid a price that many won't pay. Now we are letting the cause fade away. The graves are being neglected by the actions of so many deceptive. The freedoms they fought for in every world war, conflict or mission, So many stayed behind, signing petitions, while those awake dying were there to protect them. It's time to wake up in the USA. We are all slipping away into the darkness we once ran from. It's getting worse every day. Now they are taking our children more and more every day. No soldier ever fought for taking our children away. This is not why they bled for our freedom. They didn't die for some cheap pay. We all need to come together, fight this corruption, and it starts today. We need to wake up America, go back to parades, remember true family values, laugh again as children play. These are the things we fought for, 200 years strong, but now we're losing all of this. Don't tread on me does exist. So rise up and be strong. We don't have to go along. We need to push back now, like our forefathers did. It's time to bring back the way it was, when families lived together, all that mattered was love. It's not always easy to take back what they have grabbed. With all of us together we can do it, two loving children and mom and dad. This is our country, it's called USA. So many have fallen, say don't tread on me today. It's time to wake up in the USA. We are all slipping away into the darkness we once ran from. It's getting worse every day.